You. Yeah, you. The one pretending to check your phone in the corner at the last networking event you went to. Welcome back to Workday Playdate, my peeps, where we make work suck less, one laugh at a time. So I'm Erin Deal. If we have not met, I am your work bestie, an improv nerd, and someone who used to hate networking, like with a passion. So yes, I'm going to say that. And if you've been listening to this show for a while, you're probably shocked because I'm the queen of talking to strangers for a living. But this month on Workday Playdate, we are talking all about networking. But I don't want you to hit pause or stop or leave just yet. Today's episode is called How to Actually Enjoy Networking. And yes, it is possible. Now, I promise you by the end of this episode, you're going to want to run to the next networking event because you're going to have a 5-step process that makes networking feel more like a fun improv game than a bad speed dating experience. So grab your coffee, your name tag, your best fake smile, and actually scratch that last one because we are going to make this fun. So let's start with the truth. Most of us hate networking. It's true. And I even have data. I'd love to give you some data to back it up. So a LinkedIn survey found that 70% of professionals dread networking because it feels fake or forced. And yet here's the plot twist. 85% of jobs and opportunities come through networking. 85% of jobs and opportunities come through networking. And I'm going to say this for free. Okay, no one is sponsoring this thought. I got every single opportunity in corporate America through networking. I created this business through networking. Literally every single thing that has fallen into my lap has been because of networking. But what gives? Why do we dread it? The problem is that we treat networking like a transaction instead of a conversation. We show up trying to sound impressive, overthink every word. My personal favorite, we panic about what to do with our hands. Okay. And if you're not watching this, you're listening, but literally with my hands, I'm like just fumbling around right now because sometimes we're like, do I talk with my hands? Is that too much? Am I too much? Do they want to talk to me? Does it look like I'm pointing? Right? So here's the kicker. Humans are wired for connection. You know this. Harvard research shows that having strong social connections boosts your happiness and your career longevity. So networking should feel good. It's just that we've been doing it wrong. So how do we fix it? We use improv, my personal favorite training tool. You came to Workday Playdate for a reason, y'all. We gonna play. Improv is all about being present. It's all about saying yes to the moment and making the other person look good. And when you do that, you actually have fun. So which brings me to, drum roll please, my 5-step play process for actually enjoying networking. So here we go. 5 steps, all fun, no stress. Take notes, come back, listen to the show, or just look in the show notes because we got you, boo. So here's step 1. To actually enjoy networking. Number 1, reframe the room. So instead of walking into networking instead of walking into any networking event and thinking, I have to talk to people, I have to meet people, switch to, I'm just here to collect cool stories. Like all I want to do is hear a really cool freaking story today. I'm going to be curious. Your only job then is to be curious, not impressive. Pretend you're a talk show host for the evening. What would Jimmy Fallon? What would Oprah Winfrey do? Boom, instant fun. When you look at the room as an opportunity to hear cool stories, you are reframing that sweaty armpit feeling of, oh my gosh, I have to get here and meet people and network, and that's only going to help my career. And if I don't do this, then I'll never get another job that I want. And if I don't get another job that I want, I'll just be miserable the rest of my life. And then I won't be able to pay my bills, and then I won't be able to go on vacation. And then my life's going to suck. That's not the mindset we want. Reframe the room. Get curious instead of anxious. Okay, that's number 1. Step 2, play the yes and game. classic improv. Improv 101. If you're new to the show, we talk about yes and a lot here. It is the biggest rule of improv comedy. So yes and means, yes, I hear you. I'm not going to negate what you said. I'm going to add something. So instead of saying no to whatever somebody says, you're going to say, oh, cool, and add to the conversation. So whenever someone shares, you mentally say yes, then you add an and. So here's an example. All right. You meet this person. Let's say Bob. Bob says, hi, I work in finance. Finance. Y'all, I cannot talk today. Okay. I'm just going to keep it real with you. I've got an eye infection going on. And if you could see me out of your earlobes, I've got like a red eyeball and my mouth's not working. So here's where I am. Yes, anding myself. Here we go. So let's say Bob says to you, hey, I work in finance. You mentally will say, yes, and what's the most surprising thing you've learned about people and money? And genuinely wait for the response. Bob's going to be like, wow, okay, that was a bomb-ass question. How do I follow up with that? What's the most surprising thing I've learned about people and money? Oh my gosh, let me tell you this story about this woman I worked with from this other company and blah, 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 blah. Bob goes on and on. Do you remember what Bob remembers about that conversation? How he felt. Because you are genuinely curious and asking him questions, Bob feels seen, heard, and valued. You are flipping the script to them and yes, anding whatever they are saying. So it takes the pressure off of you to keep the conversation going, and it keeps the conversation flowing and makes people light up because you're adding to their story, not shutting it down. And Bob may say something that sparks a little joy in you, and you have a story to tell Bob, and you go back and forth and back and forth. And guess what? You're having fun. You're now at a networking event having fun. That was step 2. Let's go to step 3. This is a silly one. Okay, get your giggles ready. Use the silly name game. All right, it's called the silly name game. So I want you to forget awkward small talk. I literally hate it. I loathe small talk, honestly. I've worked in a ton of people-facing roles where I've had to be like, oh, where are you from? Blah, 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 blah. And I would rather you be like, here's my diary. Let me share a deep, dark secret with you the first thing out of the gate. So let me just say this. Let's forget the awkward small talk and let's get present, because people also remember how you make them feel, and remembering their name makes them feel good. So when they tell you your name or their name, you know your name. When they tell you their name, you are going to repeat their name 3 times. So someone comes up to you. They're like, hi, I'm Jasmine. Nice to meet you, Jasmine. So Jasmine, what brought you here? Jasmine, I love that answer. And then you just keep saying, Jasmine, Jasmine. And then she's like, wow, that girl remembered my name. Her name is Erin. Oh my gosh, I felt so seen in that conversation. And then here's a little bonus you can do. I had to take a sip of water for this one. In your head, you can say their name in a goofy voice, or like you're announcing a WWE wrestler, like, come on, Jasmine, right? Like just do something for you to remember it. It makes you smile, which makes them smile. And I have to tell you, people love when you remember their name, when you remember their children's name, when you remember their pets' names, when you remember they have a child, when you remember they have a pet, when you remember where they're going on vacation. People love when you remember things about them because you're genuinely curious. You're not just there for the transaction. You're there for human-to-human interaction. So that silly name game is yours. That is step 3. All right, here is step 4. Become the compliment fairy, okay? Nothing feels better than leaving a conversation better than you found it. Let me say that again. Nothing feels better than leaving a conversation better than you found it. So before you leave a conversation, you can sprinkle one genuine compliment. So you don't have to do the boring, nice to meet you stuff. I want you to get really specific here. You could say something like, wow, Jasmine, your energy is awesome. We need more of that at events like this. Or you could say, That story about your dog, I am stealing that for my next dinner party. People will not forget if you make them feel good. And again, compliments can be at the end of a conversation. They could also start a conversation. Let me say this. One of my favorite ways to show up at a networking event is with a statement necklace or something like a statement jewelry piece, something really fun and funky that people will come up to me and say, oh my gosh, I like X, Y, or Z, whatever it is. Let's say it's a big, chunky, probably teal necklace I'm wearing. And someone's like, oh my gosh, I love your necklace. And so then I could say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I got this on this trip I went on, and start talking about the trip. I always bring a conversation starter with me so somebody can talk to me. And then on the flip side, I'm also looking for ways I can compliment other people. So literally having something that sparks conversation with you or looking for something to spark conversation with another person is such an easy way to create dialogue, conversation, and leave a long-lasting, memorable impact. So here is step 5. You are going to set a fun networking goal, okay? So give yourself a playful mission. You can collect 3 interesting facts you can retell later. You could find somebody who has the favorite TV show that you have at the moment. All right. Like if anybody is watching Hacks or anybody likes Schitt's Creek or anybody likes Parks and Rec or whatever it might be, you can literally find somebody and start conversation like, oh, what shows are you watching? People love to talk about shows. And then your other goal could be make one person laugh. Networking is so much more fun when it feels like a scavenger hunt instead of a job interview. That's so true. I want you to think about that. When you can create fun in your day and then bring that to somebody else, like how lucky are you and how lucky are they? I also want to just share a quick story with you. One of our amazing clients and friends and a previous podcast guest on this show, her name is Adi Clearman. We met probably 12 years ago when I was in a job before I built Improve It. I was working at a recruiting firm, and my job was literally business development, which I had never done before in my life. And I met her at a chamber event. We were standing next to the cheese board. And literally, we just started talking about how much we love cheese and how good cheese is, and just really celebrating the charcuterie board, which led us to become friends. Which then I was like, hey, Adi, we need to go to lunch. And we would go to lunch and have mac and cheese at lunch, which even cemented our love for cheese and our relationship even further. And at the time, Adi was working at DePaul University in Chicago. She hired me on a recruiting basis to help her hire some new people at DePaul. Then when she left and she joined a company that we had already been working with, AJ Gallagher, guess what? I got to work with Adi at Improve It. And she is now in a new role and is just continuously a champion for us. But I met her. All of that would not have happened without being at that networking event, without standing next to the food. That's another tip. Stand next to the food. People love food. Go where the food is. And me following up on that. And me remembering her love of cheese and my love of cheese. And that solidified that feeling that oh my gosh, you're fun. I want to hang out with you. And then we created a friendship. And here's the difference between sales and partnerships. Sales is transactional. Partnerships are relationships. They're two-sided, not one-sided. Both people benefit from the relationship. And that's how we look at our clients here at Improve It. I can't even tell you how many clients have become dear friends because of the intimacy of the work that we do and how we get to go into their organizations and spark joy and spark play. So I'm telling you all of this to say networking works in so many ways, but these are your 5 steps. They're totally doable. They're totally fun. And hopefully they're totally you. So I just want to take a quick break because if you are sitting there thinking, okay, Erin, these tips are cute, but I need to practice this stuff with real humans, then I've got you. At Improve It, we are an improv-infused talent development company for the new generation of work. We use improv comedy, and one of our very special workshops that we've had for 10 years, networking, is basically a giant playdate for grown-ups. Here's what goes down. We teach you to be so present that there's no room for self-consciousness or sweaty palms. You'll learn to offer support and find common ground so conversations feel easy and not awkward. We help you craft a personal brand and a fun elevator pitch that doesn't sound like a corporate robot wrote it. And you'll practice listening deeply and building on other people's ideas, which is the real secret to building relationships. Now, we can do this workshop for your team in person for up to 100 people or virtually for up to 50. And it is high energy, interactive, and fun. We have amazing facilitators here at Improve It that have been with us for almost 10+ years. And they are improv professionals who leads these sessions. So if you want to make your team and the people and actually everyone talk to each other and have fun at conferences, then go to our website, learntoimproveit.com. That's learntoimproveit.com. Fill out our contact us form that'll go right to our team. We would love to talk to you and work with your peeps on this incredible workshop. So let's wrap this baby up. Your 5-step play process to actually enjoy networking. Number 1, reframe the room. Collect stories, not context. Number 2, yes and game. Be curious. Remember, be curious, not impressive. Yes and the last thing that was said. Number 3, the silly name game. Repeat their name 3 times. Your WWE voice is optional. Number 4, be the compliment fairy. Leave every convo better than you found it. And number 5, have a fun networking goal. Turn it into a scavenger hunt. So here is your homework, aka this week's play challenge. I want you to try one of these at your next networking event, coffee meetup, or even with your local barista. Bonus points if you do all 5. Then DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn and tell me what happened. I'm at It's Erin Deal on Instagram and Erin Deal at Improve It on LinkedIn. The funniest story is going to win a shout out on the show. And next week, we are tackling an incredible concept that you are going to want to tune in for, still on this theme of networking. So make sure to tune in next week, hit subscribe so you never miss a show. And until then, remember my peeps, remember you're not networking, you're just playing. I'm so proud of you for showing up, investing in yourself, and I'll see you here next week for another Playdate. Bye.